To those of you joining us today, thank you for watching the Woburn Spotlight. I'm your host, Tyler Gates, here to bring you some positivity by talking to those people in town making big strides for the greater good. Today I'm fortunate to have with me a group of people: Todd Ungaro from Clumsy in-home tutoring, Madhavi from Shine In Math Academy, Jennifer Mack from JMack Academics. And co-hosting with me for the first time today is Jody Crowley, a La Macchia realty expert, a local to Woburn, and you will be seeing her face much more on the show ahead. So Jody, thank you for hosting with me today. Group, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having us, Tyler. I was super excited when you told me about your Woburn Spotlight, and I'd seen a couple of shows and I was pretty impressed. And basically, Tyler and I are a part of a couple of business groups, and we have a mutual passion for highlighting businesses and other important things around town. And as we head into the summer season, I know my son has personally taken advantage of some wonderful tutoring programs, and many of those at this table. And we decided we wanted to highlight tutoring as we go into the summer, because sometimes people don't think about that. So we'll let our panelists talk a little bit more about this, but each of them comes from a different angle as far as tutoring goes, and super excited to highlight what all of those are. So maybe we'll start, maybe each of you, maybe Todd, if we can start with you. We'll have you briefly explain your program and tell us a little bit about the services that you provide.
All right, well, it's great to be here and thank you for having me. Nice to see everyone. So yes, I'm Todd Ungaro with Clumsy in-home tutoring. Clumsy provides in-home tutoring services as opposed to having a physical location. We send tutors to the student's home. We meet with the student and the parent beforehand and do a free in-home evaluation. And then we match the student with the right tutor based on the student's needs. And we provide customized instruction, customized curriculum. We work with the students' teachers and class curriculum if necessary, or we design our own curriculum. And Clumsy's been active in Boston for about 20 years, actually. There's several of us who have territories in the area. So if you're looking for in-home tutoring, please think of Clumsy.
Yeah, excellent. And I just want to chime in here that Clumsy actually provided my son with some tutoring recently, did an excellent job. The tutor was very professional, on time, and accomplished everything in less time than I thought they would be able to. So thank you for that.
It's a nice plug.
Thank you.
Madhavi, tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, I'm Madhavi Tharugu. I'm from Shine In Math Academy. I'm the founder of the academy. We provide math, ELA, and science tutoring programs in both one-on-one settings and a group setting. Ours is more concept-oriented approach in an interactive manner offered in a classroom. And if the student is really struggling to follow in the group, we do offer one-on-one tutoring as well. Apart from tutoring in math, ELA, science areas, we do test prep as well for SATs, ACTs, and GREs. We have done exceptionally well in terms of helping the students achieve the scores that they wanted, some perfecting their scores as well. We are in Burlington. We have another branch in Nashua. If you want to have your child excel during the summer or throughout the school year, we are open in summer too. We have bridge programs for each subject area that are offered in 1 week long courses. These are mainly for high school students, the longer 1 week long stretches, and for elementary through middle school students, we offer customized curriculum in the summer. They are 6 week long programs where we meet once a week.
Excellent. And I want to give you a plug as well. My son, actually, he's a very good student. He has taken advantage of the Shine In programs as well, and the one-on-one programs, and he's really excited, based on his experience with you, to do the bridge program as he's kind of gearing up to do the honors geography in high school at Woburn this year. So
we are very much looking forward to working with your son too. Thank you.
Awesome.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Mack with JMack Academics. I am a certified elementary school teacher, and I have nearly 18 years experience in the classroom, 12 of which I ran my own classroom. I work with students and their families and teachers to determine where a student may be struggling and how we can best help them. I assist parents also in terms of learning how to help their children at home when they are struggling in school, as well as knowing their rights in terms of being able to talk to the schools to make sure that the schools are providing everything that they need.
Excellent. And that's one of the things I love about you is you have that school experience that you bring right into the tutoring experience. And also you have a pretty cool Facebook page.
Oh.
And she always has these really awesome tips. So we have to make sure we get your Facebook page.
Awesome, thanks.
Advertise that in this as well.
That brought up something interesting. So you were mentioning kind of the transition between work or home life and school, and that being a necessary gap that you have to bridge. How do parents know, how do students know when they need tutoring?
That's an excellent question. A lot of times I tell parents, first of all, chat with your child's teacher. I mean, find out if they think that they're either seem to be struggling. Also, I say look at your child and their behavior, their attitude towards school, because a lot of times if children are struggling, you may see behaviors, you may see, I don't know, they may change in some way. So look at your child, talk to them, see if they feel like they're struggling, but talk to the teacher as well. And then I know it sounds like we all do kind of a free consultation. Absolutely reach out to anyone and just say, how do I know? And we could absolutely talk. And guide you to find out whether they would benefit from it or not.
Interesting.
All right, we're going to head back to the Shine Math Academy, and I would love to ask you, what are some of your methods and the results that you've seen?
The Academy's motto is academic excellence for every student. Our methods are, they teach foundational concepts first, and then address the problems in that area if the student has any. As to results, we have achieved exceptional results, as I mentioned in the past with the past question too. The students have achieved higher scores almost immediately after they started the program. I think most of it goes to the way we teach in the classroom or in one-on-one setting, that is by engaging the student in conversation and having them participate instead of making it a one-way conversation or one-way instruction to the student. So when they are engaged, when they are able to relate, it's almost immediate. They understand, they apply, and then they can apply in the exams, and then they enjoy it while they do that too, when they learn.
Keeping people engaged, right?
Engaged,
It's half the battle.
It is.
The students, the parents, the teachers, everybody on the same page.
Yeah, that's very true. Keeping them engaged is half the battle.
Yeah.
And then that actually motivates them. Once the student is motivated, it's only half the work the teacher has to do. Right?
Pique that curiosity, and I feel like you become a lifelong learner, right?
Yes.
Todd, are you seeing people stay engaged through the summer? How is summer tutoring impactful moving in or up a grade in this area?
That's a great question. Yes, we do have students staying on or signing on, families and their kids signing on for summertime tutoring because they realize that the summertime is a time actually when the learning can lag, or we talk about a learning loss or the summer slide. Parents and kids alike do want to take a break after finishing up, getting through the finals that we're actually just wrapping up with right now. But in the summertime, kids can study without the demands of regular school, homework, tests, athletics, etc. So it's a little more leisurely, and it's a good time to bone up and prepare for the upcoming fall semester. So yes, we do.
You make staying engaged possible, right? Like you said, it's half the battle. It's half the battle.
And Todd, what age ranges and subjects do you cover?
We actually cover all ages and all subjects. Most of our tutoring is school age, so the K through 12. There's not a lot of tutoring in kindergarten, actually, but then we do have elementary students, middle school students, and high school students, some college students as well, adults. So we have a roster of tutors, and if we don't have a tutor on our roster, we can tap our network and find the right tutor for a client based on the subject and the age and then the experience of the tutor. So It's a pretty broad range.
Thanks for that.
As well as test prep as well, I should say. We do the SAT and the ACT as well.
The big differentiating factor is you do a lot of that placement, and the tutors go to the student, which is a big differentiator in the industry, it sounds like. And kind of sticking with that theme, Madavi, what age ranges are you helping excel currently, and is there any certain academic categories that you veer towards?
We do serve all age ranges from starting kindergarten through college level. And like Todd mentioned, summer is a good time to take care of little, whatever they could not catch up with during the school year, with all the stress going on, with catching up with athletics and other academic requirements. But throughout the school year and summer, we do serve all age students through college. And in summer, for juniors, again, continuing with Todd's thoughts, for juniors in high school, it's a good time to take care of their SATs, ACTs, whatever they need to put in their resumes, and they'll have enough time to bump up their scores. And those who are taking the AP and honors level courses, taking that little extra help during the summer takes them a long way when the school starts. And they start with confidence, all those advanced level courses.
I like the way you put it earlier. You bridge. I think you bridge that gap. Right?
Yeah. And it's nice to have you have the group classes and designed for specific levels and helping them move to other levels. I like that. And there's pluses, and there are the pluses of each different program. I know for myself as a mother, when when things get busy and my house gets a little messy, at first I thought, well, I don't know, Todd, if I want the person to come to my house today, and I was like, okay, well, if they come over, I can do the dishes while they're there. So that's what we did. But Madavi, when he goes to your program, he goes to your building, and I don't have to worry about that. There are pluses to both. Now you have a focus based on your background with teaching.
Yes.
And so what's your preference for?
I work with primarily elementary school, so kindergarten through 5th or 6th.
Primarily, that's amazing to me. Good for you. God bless you.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of, it's funny because a lot of times people will say, like, does a kindergartner really need tutoring? And actually, if you think about it, those first few years in school are forming the foundation, like the basic foundation of phonics, reading, math, number sense. And for kids that developmentally, the schools are definitely requiring more and more, younger and younger. And sometimes developmentally they're not ready. So the consistent exposure to concepts, especially through the summer, can only help them when they start the next school year. Like you were saying, they start with confidence. And especially, I know, especially K through 2, K through 3, like that summer slide, it's a big one if they don't practice, because they gain so much knowledge in those years, and to lose that really kind of sets them back
It's a big setback,
for the next year.
I couldn't even imagine as a parent that the challenge of engagement. There's a few words that I keep going back to, and I feel silly to reiterate some of those, but it definitely sounds like those are some of the buzzwords and some of the things people should be looking for.
Yeah.
As a parent, what are one of the things that you're asking Jody when you're looking for a tutor? And maybe we'll go down the line after. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I want somebody who is going to be on time. I want somebody who knows the subject matter inside and out, because if you don't, it's hard to teach it. And it's hard, and teaching in a way that a child, especially a child who's taking some advanced classes, understands, and everybody learns differently. It's complex, and so I want somebody who knows the content inside and out, and I can say that everybody on this panel fits that criteria, or they wouldn't have been invited here. So you can't go wrong. You cannot go wrong with this group.
And I appreciate all the different ways that you can bring service to the students, right? All the ways that you guys can educate. So I'm going to ask you a very similar question that I asked Jody. What's one question that parents or students even should be asking of their tutor when making sure it's the right fit? Who would like to tee it off? Todd, you have a big smile over there. Those wheels are spinning.
What question does a parent ask a tutor? Well, we've generally screened, or Jennifer, who does her own tutoring, is qualified. But really, it's about their experience.
Okay.
A lot of people think they want a tutor, and they have a little bit of experience, or they were good in a certain subject. At least for our team of tutors, they need to have experience. So, I have parents who ask me for the credentials and profiles of my tutors oftentimes, and so I'm sharing those. But it's really about experience. And in my case, I interview and know all of my tutors personally, and they need to have a flexible style. Obviously, they need to have qualifications and experience, but a flexible, adaptable style is what I look for. And I look for passion in my tutors, and you can generally tell that.
I'm sure it comes across in the meeting for sure.
Yeah.
Experience, I like that. That's a great question to be asking for somebody that's never experienced tutoring, right? Madhav, do you want to build on that or add to that?
For me, the main thing that I look for tutors when I hire to be working with my students, rather students who come into the academy, first thing is credentials, of course. And secondly, and I would say I would put this second one in the first priority, in the priority list as the first one, is the passion. Without that, no matter how much if you can't connect to the student, if you are not into what you are doing, I don't really think it would work. So passion, credentials, experience, that's my priority list.
Nice.
Absolutely. Sounds like we have a similar theme. Jennifer, do you want to add to that or build on that or expand on that at all?
Well, that I think in my situation, who you're seeing is who you're getting. So you can kind of tell that I'm doing this because I want to, because I love it. But also I would suggest that parents, because I feel that the best way, especially with the younger kids too, consistency, I've talked about that, but for parents to ask the tutors, well, how can I help them in between sessions? Do you have ideas for me? Like I tend to, especially with, I try to make it fun, obviously, because the little ones, but I like to leave the parents with even little games or a little book that we've read together for them to practice during the week so they have kind of homework. And then they can get excited about it. It's a fun thing to do, and it really helps in between sessions for that child to really retain their information.
Nice.
That's a great point. I'm glad you expanded on that. Thank you. And we all have such unique models, and you guys all got into them in such different ways. I feel like we could just spend so much time talking to each one of you. I know we have a little bit more time together today. Jody, I'll leave it up to you. Where do you want to head for the last couple of questions?
Well, I want to make sure that everybody got the points across that they wanted to. So maybe kind of open it up as if there was one or two things you wanted to make sure that you said. Just wanted to make a space for that.
And building on that,
Yeah.
if you would like to leave your name, again, your number, email, website, whatever means of communication you'd like to put out there for the public, please feel free to speak it now, and Lauren and Jennifer will make sure it's added to the screen after the fact. So I just wanted to add that.
Absolutely.
But Jennifer, how about we start with you? We've been ending questions with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about you in summary and what you'd like the viewers to know about you?
Well, like Jody mentioned, I have a Facebook business page, just JMAC Academics. You could search for that. It has all my information, my credentials. I go through just a little kind of a general description of how we could work together. You can get in touch with me through Messenger there. My phone number is listed there. My phone number is 781-249-2948. I have a website through a business group that I'm in. It's actually pepperlane.co /Jennifer-Mac. But I'm actually working on my own website right now, still in process. But so I have the website, and the Facebook page really does give a lot of information. I like to offer up little kind of like freebies that parents can print out, do at home, because maybe they don't feel as though they need a specific tutoring, but they want to keep up with their kids learning in the summer. So I have a lot of resources there. I do a live every week. And I am here to answer any questions, a free consultation, and then we could talk about any questions you might have about your student.
Todd, why don't you lead us off for the next one?
Sure. Yes, to remind everyone, it's Club Z as in zebra, Club Z Tutoring. You can search on Club Z in the greater Boston area. You'll get either my territory or one of my colleagues' territories. We cover most of greater Boston. My website and my Facebook page have Club Z of Winchester. Winchester is the center of my territory, so if you search on those terms, you'll find me. And as I said earlier, we do all ages, all grades. We're very flexible. We'll customize the curriculum and the instruction. Like Jennifer does, we provide some free resources on our websites, which is great. And just encourage parents to stay engaged, and your kids will do great.
Thank you for that, Todd. And Madhavi, last but not least, do you mind telling us a little bit about you one last time?
You can find us at shineandmath.com, and we're also on Facebook. Like Jen said, Facebook seems to be a lot more easier to get things out there quicker, so we have a lot more programs listed on the Facebook page. And you can reach us at info@shineandmath.org, or you can also sign up on our website sign-up sheet. We offer, like I said, we offer all throughout the school year and summer programs.
Wonderful.
Sorry.
No, that's awesome. Thank you. You guys have done such a good job. We put you in
we
front of a
also-
camera, huh?
Sorry. There are a couple of things that I forgot to mention.
Yep.
Is us getting voted Best of Burlington for the past 5 years that I forgot to
Oh, wow.
mention in the introduction.
Good for you.
And then we also want to play a positive and active role in the community. Since early 2018, we established Shine in Communities program, where per every student that is enrolled into the academy from Burlington and Woburn public schools, we donate part of their tuition to the scholarship fund of each school district. Apart from that, we also offer discounted SAT workshops and summer bridge courses in Woburn High School for Woburn High School students. And we recently conducted a workshop, SAT workshop here, and within 2 weeks of classes, the class average went up by 70 points in SAT scores.
Nice.
It's amazing.
It's tangible. That's
Thank
awesome.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Along with
that's
all this-
great. Yes, please finish your point. I keep interrupting you, Madhavi. I'm
That's all
sorry.
right. That's all right. Outside the schools too, outside the academics, we also are dollar a day supporters for Woburn Senior Center and Burlington Senior Center. This program also started late 2017.
Excellent.
Not only are you teaching, but you're keeping everyone engaged in the community
In the
too,
community.
right?
Yeah.
What a panel that you got together today for us, Jody. Wow, really though.
fun.
If I need
Yeah.
to learn something, I have 3 great resources, people I can call.
Exactly. I know. And the bottom line is learning doesn't have to end in the summertime. And with learning loss, and especially with students who are struggling or trying to, in the next year, push themselves, it's good to have some support throughout the summer. And you guys are there and ready to help. They don't disappear when the school ends.
I know. Well, thank you for raising your hand to co-host today. And I look
pleasure.
forward to having you here and running a few shows of your own in the future.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jennifer, Madhavi, and Todd for joining us. I really appreciate your time today. And I know the students and parents do too. So thank you. We look forward to having you on again in the future. And thank you all for watching today's show with our awesome guests. I really appreciate your time as well. Please join us again for another episode of the Woburn Spotlight.